Comin' At Ya, the first major 3D feature film in almost 25 years, breaking box office records all over the country. The producer, Gene Quintano, gave me such a funny trailer the other day, I just had to play it for you tonight. Watch this zany 3D madness, then I'll be back with producer Gene Quintano to tell you all about the 3D experience. Hang on!
First of all, 3D stands for three-dimensional. Your 3D viewers become your passport to a world so alive and immediate. Over the range like this. In other words, the movie action literally seems to zing off the screen and make you a part of the action. With the characters and situations on the screen, whatever moves and touches them will move and touch you in a way you've never been moved or touched in a movie before. No matter what the peril. Whoa, 3D will put you in places you never dreamed of before. In fact, the 3D action unfolds so fast and furious in Comin' At Ya that to take your eyes off the screen for even a moment could mean the difference between life and death. Fire! 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 So now you can see that 3D is your guarantee of the kinds of explosive thrills and dynamite excitement. I knew I shouldn't have said that. So, don't miss the explosive 3D thrills of Comin' At Ya.
3D is an exciting film medium conveying the illusion of depth so that it often appears that objects are about to fall into your lap. Unfortunately, the 3D process hasn't been utilized much since 1954, but now there's an exciting new Western, Comin' At Ya, which promises to be in the vanguard of many more 3D adventure movies to come. Now, a few days ago, one of the three producers of the film, Gene Quintano, dropped by the cinema shop at 526 O'Farrell Street in San Francisco to talk about 3D. The first thing I asked him was, what exactly was the 3D experience?
Probably the closest analogy I can give you is to looking through a window as opposed to looking at a screen. You have the sensation that you can stand up and step into the picture and be part of it, that you can reach into it and touch the objects that are in front of you. And of course, the sensation in 3D that is most effective and that people who remember 3D think of most often is the impact of something jumping off the screen right into your lap, a flaming arrow that's shot out through the audience and you're sure is going to hit you, or a rock slide that rolls into your lap. 3D creates a world that is realer than real. Everything has a tremendous texture and a tremendous sense of depth and a tremendous reality, and it puts you right into the middle of the picture.
In your film, Comin' At Ya, what are some of the 3D effects that you tried to present that you felt were most effective in scaring and surprising audiences?
Well, I touched on one when I talked about flaming arrows. We have a sequence where the hero, played by Tony Anthony, is being chased by an Indian, and with his machine gun bow and arrow, we shot over 400 flaming arrows, and they come out into the audience. It's done with Dolby stereo, so you not only see them coming at you, but you hear them whistling over the audience's head, landing behind you, and I defy anyone not to duck. We have a sequence where some women are trapped in a tower, and you'll hear the fluttering of wings all around the theater. You'll start looking behind you to see what it is, and all of a sudden a bat swoops into the audience, and there are bats swooping, flying, ducking, and darting into the audience, and you, again, combine with the Dolby sound, it's an incredible audiovisual experience. Then we have the great rat sequence, where my brother, I am the villain in this, my brother is the villain, is held captive, and he's on a tower, he's being attacked by rats, and they'll come out at the end of a pole right out into the tip of your nose. I come in, and when I'm rescuing them, I pick them off and throw them, and the audience screams because it's as if they were dropping into their lap.
You had a choice between doing a Western and a horror film. What
Right.
made you decide to go with the Western instead of a suspense terror picture?
At the time we started this film, there were close to 120 horror films in some stage of planning and development, and we just thought we're going to come in at the end of a cycle. The people will be horror filmed out, and how many new ways can we come up with to dice, slice, chop, puree, grate, and whatever else you have to do to people in a horror film. And a Western's a perfect action-adventure format. You know, we've got a Western film that doesn't take itself seriously, and it didn't try to be a Shane or a High Noon, but is filled with all the classic Western action and adventure, and it works perfectly in 3D. You take a shotgun and stick it in the audience's face in 3D and blast it off in Dolby stereo, that's an experience.
What a great experience, 3D. We'll be telling you more about that later. This has been a really exciting evening on Creature Features for me, even though Channel 2 management did give me a crummy movie, The Brain That Wouldn't Die. Listen to next week's lineup, almost as good as this week's. John Landis will be here, Rick Baker. I'll introduce you to the publisher of Mystery Magazine, which is now featuring an all San Francisco issue. Those of you who sent in your entries on the Condor car, rest assured we're reading those over, and in about 2 weeks we're going to be giving that car away here on Creature Features. Our movie next week is Let's Scare Jessica to Death, a psychological horror film with overtones of Night of the Living Dead. It's well worth watching, so I hope that you're going to be watching too next week. You better be.